Well, you know I'm always up for trying something a little bit different, and friend here's just thrown me the keys to his Harley Low Rider S. This is 117 cubic inches of American muscle. I've had a ride on the highway, just getting to know the bike a little bit. So far so good. It is outrageously loud, it's outrageously talky, and I'm keen to show you guys what this big thing is all about, because it is surely different from what you usually see on this channel. So let's get on and have some fun. It's hard to describe exactly how visceral this thing is right now, because as soon as you get on, your teeth start to chatter, you feel like your bowels are starting to loosen up through the seat, and even when you back off the throttle, the compression just kind of leans you forward. Anyway, let's give it some gas, shall we? Woo-hoo-hoo! Alright, so that was a little bit of a rushed introduction because we're in a bit of a hurry to get going, but today's test ride is on a Harley Low Rider S. This is like about as much badass as you can pack into one bike in one place. You can almost see the fuel gauge going down as you accelerate. Yeah, so for those of you who have been around the channel for a while, you'll know that I generally ride sporty bikes, or naked bikes at least. They're typically Japanese, but today I've got myself 117 cubic inches of American iron. So I'm by no means a Harley connoisseur, but what I gather, they start with a dyno, which is a pretty basic sporty type chassis, and in the lowrider they chuck a big old engine in it. This one has been customized and has an even bigger engine in it, and the result is noise, power, and just a whole lot of fun. I already feel like I'm growing chest hairs and growing facial hair while I ride it. You just feel like a badass on this thing. Oh yes, oh yes. Absolutely effortless power everywhere. So the owner's up there on my MT-09, and so for someone who rides an MT-09 and is used to an 11,000 RPM redline, a 6,000 RPM redline is a bit of a, it messes with your head. It definitely takes a bit of getting used to. Out with a 1098 as well. This is my Harley brother for today on his V-Rod. So what do I think of this thing? Well, I love how comfortable it is to start with. You sit low, you sit back, and it forces you into a kind of a hunch, which does a couple of things. It kind of makes you want to puff your shoulders out and stick your elbows out a bit in that kind of badass pose that you see Harley riders do. And now I know why. But what I said to my brother just before, what I love as well is it changes your whole mindset. You're not looking at corners going, oh my god, I need to shred these corners. You just go, yeah, this is cool. I'm out enjoying a bike ride. And instead you enjoy the bike, the beautiful hum that you've got coming out the back. You start to enjoy that stuff more. And then anytime you want, noise. So like I say, comfy seating position. I've got big long legs, so this has the mid controls rather than the forward controls, so that you can still whip it around in the corners. And whilst it's heavy on the side stand, it definitely feels nice and light once you're rolling. You know, the magic of physics, once you're moving, feels super light. Controls are minimalist. I've got a speedo down here. I've got a tacho underneath that that's currently reading 4,000 RPM. And to me, this just feels like awesome, no nonsense fun. There's no modes, there's no traction control. You just get on, get comfortable, and just enjoy the experience. the sensory, and just look around at all the nice fit and finish. Everything's either metal or chrome. You don't see any plastic in front of you. It just feels quality, and it feels like it'd last forever. It's got some nice little techie touches as well, which don't take away from the old school feel of it. Like, for example, I've got keyless start. I've just got the fob in my pocket at the moment, which also means you don't have like an ugly key barrel or something. I've got a digital readout here to tell me how much fuel's in it. It's got self-cancelling indicators. So, you know, it's not like you're going without either. Some nice little touches here to make it feel a bit more modern. Did I mention that it's noisy? Thank God for earplugs, that's all I can say. So this is really interesting. We're just cruising along through town at the moment, doing like 50 k's an hour. And I don't know if refined is the word you would use, but it's really well behaved. You know, got a huge V-twin underneath me here. You'd expect it to be clunky and protesting. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, if you're used to like Japanese bikes that have a lot of the edge taken off them, it's not going to feel as smooth as that. But I'm actually really impressed with how easy this is to dawdle around on as well. Because I mean, when I think of a bike like this, I think big open highway, just using that big lazy mill to just eat up the miles. But I can tell you right now, it's equally happy plodding along like this as well. That was the owner of the bike, so I thought I'd better give him a good flyby. So it's kind of weird seeing like a small compact car like this in front of me and thinking that this thing has a bigger engine. That's pretty hilarious. But see, this is where this bike's right at home. If you want to sell a Harley-Davidson to somebody, especially one with a bit of sporty credential like this one, these are the kind of roads you want to take them on. Big open road, no traffic, nice wide sweepers. This is where this bike feels absolutely magic. Oh. And every time you get off the throttle, that overrun, and then you power out of the corner effortlessly. Oh, magic! I need to look up what Arnie was riding in Terminator 2 because I feel like the Terminator right now. This is sick. And as if this ride wasn't cool enough, look at this epic scenery. Man, this bike continues to surprise me. Big, twisty mountain road. I did not think this thing would be very good at this, but my word. 15 km/h switchback there. No dramas. So what about some other aspects of this bike? Well, you know, ride quality, handling, brakes, that sort of stuff. Well, I know this Harley sort of flaunts its sporty credentials a bit, and yeah, I'm actually surprised. It's much more nimble and agile than I was expecting, and it's a lot of fun on these fast, twisty roads. The ride quality is fantastic. It soaks up the bumps beautifully, which again just allows you to relax and enjoy the ride. The gearbox, as you would expect with such an enormous engine, everything's quite heavy. The controls are quite heavy, but that's good. It gives you like a really reassuring clunk when you knock it into gears. The brakes, I will say, I would probably like a little bit more brake on a bike that's capable of going this quick. But another thing I'm getting used to is with these rear biased bikes, you do need to use more rear brake than you would on my bike, for example. So I'm finding that when I apply a decent amount of rear brake at the same time, it's definitely helping a lot with pulling the bike up. I'm gonna go join my peeps. Oh yes. There's something pretty gnarly about a 300 kilogram bike sitting really heavy on the back wheel and the front wheel getting really light. That is a pretty nuts sensation and a pretty good one. Oh, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. The only other Harley-Davidson I've ridden was the Street 500, and if I'm perfectly honest, I was pretty underwhelmed by that bike. I mean, it's to be expected. It's a cut price learner Harley-Davidson with a 500cc engine, so I mean, to the purist, it's probably barely even a Harley. But yeah, I've been really looking forward to actually getting a ride on some proper American iron, and I'm so glad that my first experience has been a good one, because now I get what it's all about. I'm not sure if it's for me at this point in my life, but my God, man, it's just, there's a certain cool feeling that comes along with this. And some of you might go, whatever, I want a bike that handles really well and I can carve up a racetrack with. And yeah, fair enough, if you want to carve up a racetrack, this probably wouldn't be your weapon of choice. But for this sort of thing, Sunday morning, fast twisty roads, I actually can't think of many better bikes to be on, to be honest. I'd certainly rather be on this than on a 1098. I don't know what else to tell you really. Let me try and sum up my thinking on the Harley Low Rider S at the moment. I think if the cruiser appeals to you and you've been having a serious think, I would strongly encourage you to go and try a Low Rider S. If you want the last word in comfort, you might want to get something with more of a fairing on it. You know, you might want to explore the bagger type Harleys. But if your idea of a Harley is power, torque, good, respectable handling, and a fun like 3 or 4 hour blast with your mates, I think you're going to be hard pressed to find a better Harley than this one, man. So I'd be pretty keen to hear from some of you guys actually, the ones that are used to sports bikes and sports naked bikes. What did you think when you first rode a Harley? And when I say a Harley, I mean a real Harley, you know, not one of these liquid cooled Street 500 Nancy's. What did you think when you got on your first real Harley? Were you impressed? Were you disappointed? Did you think not for me, or did you go out and sell your sports bike straight away? Me personally, I'm very impressed. I love it. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I'd be keen to hear it. And before I go, Andrew, thank you so much for lending me this, mate. This has been an absolutely amazing experience. I'm not sure riding an MT-09 quite matches up, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway, man. And if you're a cruiser guy and this is the first time you've seen this channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I like all bikes, so who knows what you'll end up seeing on the channel in the future. Thanks again for watching, guys. I will speak to you soon. Peace out.